a new home for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hey everyone, would you believe that it's been almost 6 months to the day that we've had our Sunseeker Desert Storm?
Yes, and we have lived in it the majority of the 6 months.
Yep.
And it's been pretty awesome.
So currently we're travelling through the New South Wales north coast, heading down towards Sydney. And we thought we'd take the opportunity today to give you guys a 6-month review of our van. And if we were to reorder another Sunseeker, what would we keep? What would we change?
Today's a beautiful day. There's so much sun around today. So
Yep.
it's nice. I actually feel we have got the lights on just as an extra, just because we're doing the video.
Yeah.
But yeah, the space in here, the brightness, the light, it is just huge for us. And we've actually been through quite a lot of rain and storms actually the last couple of weeks from Nambucca Heads and Port Macquarie. And you know, we haven't had any full-blown massive storms, I guess, while we've been in the van living full-time. So it was nice to experience that because it was still light in here.
Yeah, it was.
There was still, I know it was grey and overcast and it was, you know, it was dark, but it wasn't like the old van didn't have as much ventilation and windows and space where you could open it to get the light in. So that's a huge thing for this van, and that's one of my biggest loves about the van is the windows and the space that we have in here.
I think, look, let me give you a quick look around. So, you know, all the windows, all the roof hatches, there's just, I don't know, there's almost more windows than wall, isn't there?
Yeah, which is awesome.
But it's just so amazing. It's just so airy. Look at it. And somehow this 21'6", they've managed to put everything that we need into the van, and they've made it look incredible.
Yeah, it just looks it looks bigger than what it actually is.
Yeah, so that's one thing that Justin and I both agree on. That's probably the number one thing that we love the most about this van is the airiness, the airflow that we get with all the windows open. It's not stuffy at all. Even on the hottest days, we still get airflow.
We still sleep with the windows open and aircon off. That's what we love. We can still, even on warm days, we can still have everything open and just sleep nicely at night without even having to worry about the aircon because there's so much cross breeze coming in, especially above the bed. The last Caravan didn't have this window here. It was the only Caravan we've ever had that hasn't had one of those windows, and I did not like that at all because it really does make it a lot more stuffy, not having that front window. I mean, that's just a personal choice, but we've experienced so many different vans now, and we still prefer to have the window at the front of the van. Yeah.
So if we were to order this van again, we would definitely still stay with the 21'6", wouldn't we?
Yeah, definitely.
And would still almost, well, would 100% definitely get that window.
That window would 100%
because it just opens the whole van up and just... We always get that cross breeze no matter where we are.
Yeah. So the point of this video is we're going to show you, because as most of you know, we did not build this van. We did not design it at all. So I guess if we had have designed this van, we're going to show you a few things that we would have done probably differently, because there's a few little things that we're just like, oh, you know, we would have done this. We wouldn't have done it that way. So... You've got a list of a few things that you sort of jotted down.
Well, I do. I don't know what I've done with it now. Here it is.
Sitting on it.
Okay, all right. So, look, first of all, what I really, really love about the van.
Yes, I'll hold this for you.
You do that.
Yes.
Is two things. Other than the build and the airiness and the lightness of the whole van. And I reckon that's the signature part of Sunseeker Caravans is that use of space. And that's on all Sunseeker vans, not just on this one. So if you get a Sunseeker, you're going to be sweet. All right. We did get quite a few extras with this van, and some of them we would keep, and some of them we wouldn't. The first thing we would definitely keep would be our battery system.
100%.
I love this battery system.
You do obsess over it a little bit.
We're actually at a caravan park at the moment because we're meeting up with some friends. And we've done that pretty much on the way down the New South Wales north coast. We're meeting up with a lot of people that we met on the road. But when we're off grid, this battery system absolutely shines. So the van comes with 600 amps of lithium.
That's not standard.
No.
That was
This one does.
Like that.
600 amps lithium. It's got a 2600 watt inverter. We can run everything in our van, no problem with the setup that we have.
Yep.
We've also got 1,050 watts of solar on the roof with another 150 watt solar blanket. So we've got 1,200 watts of solar that we can use.
We've got ample.
There's only been one time that we actually were running a little bit short on power, and that was because we had 4 days of really shitty weather. And
we also, and don't forget, we also intentionally, I think we actually did a video on it, we actually ran it right down because we used our juicer, the Thermomix. We even used
the aircon on the last day.
Induction cooker outside that we use all the time. So and the aircon. So we actually did run everything. And that was 4 days of crappy weather plus the appliances. And I reckon that was pretty damn good considering what we did. Normally, we would consume the power a bit better if we knew we're going to be off grid for a long period. But we really wanted to test out the battery system and really show you guys what it's capable of. So
the battery system is so good that one of the things I wish that we would have had in the van is induction cookers installed in the van.
Yeah, we've come to love them now.
Because it's just so much quicker to cook. You don't have that worry about the gas as well.
Yeah. And because we have so much power, we can run.
And the battery system doesn't have any issue whatsoever in running it. So that's the number one thing that we love, or that I love. And I know Justine likes it too.
Yeah, we're a bit obsessed with the induction cooker that we have. We've got a portable one that we use, and we use it every single day outside. We actually are using that more than we're using the hot plates, aren't we? That's the first time that's probably ever happened in a van that we've had. I don't know what it is, but we may end up getting one that's a little bit bigger, I think.
Well, if we can.
Another induction cooker sort of outside.
Yeah, and I think, look, it is more money on top of our battery system doesn't come standard.
Yeah.
With the Desert Storm, I think it comes standard with 200 amps of lithium. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, we'd have to check that.
But obviously we've got 600 amps. If you can afford it, get it.
So anyway, moving on.
So the next thing that I love about this caravan is the suspension.
Yes.
It's not just because of the ride. I mean, when you're driving with this caravan, you just don't get any of the bumps and bangs and things that we used to get with the old van with the standard sort of suspension, the spring suspension. We just don't get it. The suspension in this, the airbag suspension, nothing moves in the caravan. Nothing. I mean, almost to a point where I think we could probably almost leave stuff on the benches and they wouldn't move.
Yeah, everything's exactly where it needs to be.
And then when we end up doing a lot more off-roading, I can see how amazing the suspension is going to be. But the other thing great about this suspension is when we arrive at our site, there's no levelers, there's no blocks, there's no trying to get the caravan perfectly level. You just push a button and hey presto, it's done,
That's it. There's no yelling out and then running in and checking the thing, seeing if it's level, running back out, saying, nope, come back a bit more, coming back in, checking the shower door, all that stuff we used to do with all our other vans. It was a mission to get it level.
This is something that Riley can do even. He really enjoys getting the van level. And when you're on sand or when you're on a soft, like a soft surface, I'm not trying to say, but
I don't really know what you're trying to say.
To be able to know that you don't have to drive up on ramps to get your van level.
Yeah, you can just pull up and level it. Yeah,
it's just incredible.
And this is the first van. I think we still get so excited about talking about that, obviously, because we've never had that, and we've always seen it and gone, oh.
And honestly, if we were to get another van, not that we're looking.
No, we're not looking for another van.
But if we were to build another van, we would definitely get the Cruisemaster airbag suspension again, because for me that's money so well spent. It just feels so much safer driving the van. It's so much easier.
You just got to remember to make sure you get the levels back to where they need to be before you take off. So, and you'll notice, because when you pull out of your site and you feel like the caravan's not quite right, you'll be like, oh, we haven't done the airbags.
I think there is an even more advanced system out now from Cruisemaster where it will do it all itself.
Oh wow.
As soon as you start driving, it'll just...
We're not upgrading.
No, we're not.
No, we absolutely are not.
I think that
don't need that one. This one is perfectly fine.
Which leads us on to the next one. It's one that's a pretty quick one, is the disc brakes on the van. Yeah.
You can clearly see these are all Tim's favourites, because this isn't as interesting for me.
Well, but being able to stop on a dime, towing a 3.5 ton caravan is really superb.
So exciting.
It's so much different to drum brakes, and it's again one of those things that once you've got them, you just never want to go back. So
yeah,
that's the next thing that I really love as well. But there are some things I don't like. Should I talk about one now rather than?
If you want
I'll talk about one. Okay, now.
No, we'll do my likes.
Okay, you go. All right, you do that.
We'll do my likes.
Okay, what do you
I don't know. Where's my list?
I've got it here.
I think I've already talked about my biggest one.
All right.
Okay. So, oh yeah, one of the biggest things is having a fridge, a big fridge. That was something that I didn't realise just how much. The fridge is probably trashed.
No, well, you don't need to open it.
My back. Sorry, I've still got a sore back, and I forgot. I just got up too quickly. Oh, I feel so old. Oh.
Let me hold this.
Okay.
She is old.
Not as old as you. I'll never be as old as him. He'll always be older. So this is the fridge. You even cleaned it. Look at this.
I did.
Tim cleaned
Just
the
for
fridge.
You, mate.
So I know people have also questioned fridges black and white. I don't think it matters because black fridges, they're going to show the marks. Look, because Tim just cleaned it. I'm just going to show you.
You did that.
So I'm just showing. People need to see what I mean. So see, can you see this? You probably can't see it. I don't know. That was just to wind him up because that happens to me all the time. But the white fridges just show up the dirt. So the black shows up all the fingerprints.
Smudges.
And
so look,
the fridge is trashed.
Yeah, but still, there's so much room in there.
Anyway,
the freezer. So I think this is like a 225 litre fridge or something.
I think so.
Yeah.
So fridge.
Number
if
one.
you can get the fridge, that's a big deal for us because we like to buy things in bulk. And I think I'm just going to hold this because Tim's. I don't know what's going on. Tim's looking at the fridge and he keeps going down.
You can also even get a bigger one. So I think you can actually lose this storage container underneath, which really we don't really use.
That's not even a storage container. Down underneath there, that's not even a cupboard. It's just the bottom of all the bits and pieces of the fridge. So you can't actually put anything into that.
I think you can get a bigger fridge, but
I would have got a bigger fridge because we can't even use that. If that's the case, then 100%. Because if you look in here, I think we've shown you before, that's just all the mechanisms down there working.
All the pumps and stuff.
All the pumps and all those bits and pieces. So it's actually not a cupboard that you can use for storage. So I don't know how you get a bigger fridge in there.
Pretty sure they can. You can get
anyway. Okay, next. So for me, I suppose the kitchen area is probably my favourite bit because I have all this bench space here. I've never had bench space like this before, ever. And to be able to just put things on the bench, like we sometimes have the Thermomix up there for a couple of days, but then I'll have days where I just want nothing on my bench, like today. We've had a bit of a clean today. I like to have nothing on the bench, so when it comes to cooking or whatever, I can just use it straight away, because sometimes you do have to shuffle things. If we've got the juicer, the Thermomix, the toaster and everything's up here, then I start getting a bit cranky, because then I have to come over here and I have to use the table, which is lower than the bench, obviously. So what else have I got here? We've sort of talked about a lot of that stuff.
Well, can I talk about one thing?
Oh, no, you can't.
No.
All right, I'm going to talk. You can stay there. He hates it when he has to wait. Storage.
Okay.
Storage is huge.
Yep.
So we did have good storage in all our previous vans, but this one literally tops it, because we have storage everywhere, like everywhere. And I don't know, the other day I was doing something. You got all these cupboards are all storage, so they're mostly organised. We did just do a big shop, that's why everything's pretty full. And then you got all the cupboards above here, all around the bed, and even down beside the bed. And then all these kitchen cupboards. This one here is not really a cupboard. That's just, obviously all the electrical. So that's not really a cupboard, because sometimes people get confused thinking there's another cupboard there. And then you have all these drawers. And one thing I've never had, which I've always dreamed of having, is a drawer like this, where you can have all your big stuff, your normal cutlery, a couple of extra drawers, and then another big one here. That's been a game changer for me, because I used to have 2 or 3 drawers with all that stuff in it, because it was a lot smaller drawers. So I think for me, storage is a massive thing too, because there is so much here, and 9 times out of 10 I can't actually fill all the cupboards. I always have room for something else, and that's awesome, because you're not opening cupboards and everything's falling out all the time. And I do like how these close. I love these here.
Really, really good.
I like how these just click into here. Yeah. So there's no handles or anything. You just got to remember to hold on to this. You don't let it go because it can bang. And it just clicks in and that's locked.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty impressive. I do have one more favourite, but I'm going to leave that to last because it's actually not a favourite of Tim's, so we actually conflict on this one.
Oh, yeah.
So that one's going to be the last thing we actually talk about because I love it and he doesn't love it so much. So
I'm going to talk about one more thing I really like.
Okay, what would you like to talk about?
I really like
the
leather work.
Oh, yeah, all the leather.
This is a snob in me. Now, I really like all this stitching in the leather, and I know this was another upgrade that we got.
Yeah, because it's in everything, isn't it?
Yeah, but even like over here next to the bed, it's so nice having this here. I really like the diamond stitch leather work, and again, I know that's an upgrade, but for me,
that's an upgrade we would keep.
Yeah. And the leather is really, really beautiful. So
that's quite easy to clean
Sunseeker have done an amazing job. It is, yeah. Sunseeker have done an amazing job with the leather work in this van. It's so beautiful. Even up here, right? A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know what to do with this pocket up here, but we use it for our sunnies and all our remotes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And we quite like the colour too.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I like the colour.
Yeah, we do like the colour.
Sunseeker have other really nice colours too. Like they had a really nice. They got a really nice brown colour.
Yeah, we quite like
that one too. But this is, we're just so lucky to have it. So, first thing that I would change if I were to get another Sunseeker, the first thing is I'm just not a massive fan of this air conditioning unit. In our previous van, we had the Dometic Ibis 4. I don't think this particular air conditioning unit is as good. I think it's noisier. I think it doesn't cool as much. And also the really annoying thing is that you can't control it without the remote. So if you lose the remote, which we've done a couple of times, you can't turn this on and off. Well, you can. We know that. We found out just recently you can, because in here there's like a little teeny weeny little button. You've got to stick something up into this tiny little hole here. And apparently that will turn the aircon on and off.
But you can't change temperature.
You can't do any of that. So now apparently this air conditioning unit has a lower current draw than the Dometic.
So that's good when you're free camping.
Yeah, so that's obviously a big tick. But for me, I would definitely change the air conditioning unit to the Dometic. I think all those pluses, the fact that it's quieter, cooler, and it has a screen here where you can just turn it on and off and do things. It has a night mode as well that I think is really terrific. I don't think this is as good. That's just me personally. So
we would choose a different.
I would choose the Dometic, and I think that is an option.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just me. Look, it works. We're very grateful we have an air conditioning unit in a caravan. So first world problems, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we were to build it, we would just choose.
If we were to build it again, we would choose a Dometic.
Yeah.
Now let me have a quick look at my notes. Oh, okay. Here we go. The next thing I don't really like, all right, are these blinds here. Like these get really, really. On a windy day, when the wind catches in the hatch, these things start to stretch.
Yeah, it blows down like it blows up.
And the fact that they're like this concertina type material, it tends to sag. Now apparently you can wet them. You can actually take the whole thing off and wet it and clean it, and then when it dries, it's back to the way it was. That's probably something that we have to do, but
that started happening like
almost like day one.
Yeah, like it wasn't like this has been a long-term problem. This is like it's happened over time. It's happened straight away, practically.
Yeah, but again, I know Dometic have one where I think it doesn't have this concertina and it's just like a flat thing.
Yeah.
Blinds in a caravan, they always tend to be an issue, don't they?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what caravan you have. I think like in our other vans, we've had the Dometic blinds up and down. Yep. We had the choice and we built the caravan, we would 100% go the Dometic ones that just go straight up and down.
Yep.
One, they block out all the light. There's no gapping. Like when if you pull that up, you have got this line here where the stitching is for all the folding, and that still shines light through. So it's not a complete block out. And to clean all of this, you got to be very careful that you don't pull anything too hard, because you've got all the little string here that comes between the concertina part of it, and they are a nightmare to clean. You can clean them, but my gosh, it's time consuming, and your arm is aching by the end of it, because you have to sort of do every individual crease and wipe it over with a cloth.
Yeah.
So
I'm also not 100% sure that these particular blinds are all that effective in keeping out the little bugs.
Yeah, we got a lot of bugs in here. Yeah. But we've heard that from everybody, that these blinds don't have as much apparent. I don't know what they said. I don't know. We've spoken to a couple of people about it, and these particular blinds do let in more bugs, apparently.
Yeah.
I still don't really understand how or why, to be honest.
I personally think that, the Dometic ones let in bugs as well.
Yeah, I think they're exactly the same.
I haven't really found an effective...
Yeah, we're yet to find an effective blind
system in a caravan.
Someone was to invent that. They become like a squillionaire. If they invented some kind of window in a caravan with the blinds where bugs cannot get in, good luck.
Yeah.
Well done if you can find that. I think the blinds, in regards to bugs, I think the Dometic and these are exactly the same. I don't think that it's any different. So it's just from the cleaning perspective.
I'm not 100% sure if getting the Dometic window is an option with the Sunseeker, but me personally, if it was an option, I would swap it over. But there's no reason why I wouldn't get a Sunseeker because of these blinds.
No, these are just things, if we were to do the build, this is what we would put in there. So I preferred the other ones because it's a complete block out, and they're a lot easier to clean when it's a flat mesh compared to that crinkly mesh. Which you can tell I actually have to do them again, but I don't like cleaning them, but I will.
First world issues.
Yes.
Now you got another one. You got another one of these.
Yeah, so one thing we would have changed, and I don't know if we would have done this had we not known, to be honest, because when we saw the fans here on the roof, either side of the bed like this, that come down, I actually thought that was a brilliant idea, because you can flip them, and you can be in bed and get it, or you can flip it around and you can actually have it here so it comes into where you're sitting at the table. So this one in particular on this side is positioned well because you can get both ways. The other one on the other side does flip around as well, but for us, if we've got the fans on, if we're free camping and it's hot and the windows are all open, but we just want that little bit of extra air or wind on our face, I really feel like these would have been better closer to where our heads are sleeping, because we have to put it onto the highest mechanism to just sort of feel it from the distance where we are. Because you've got them here and it is quite a fair way to where your head sits, right underneath that other window. And when you have them on the side pockets, a lot of vans have them on the side, each side of the main bed. And I think we probably would prefer that. If we did the build, we would put them near our heads closer so we can get that breeze a lot closer.
The next thing that I would change, now this is one area that Justin and I would probably differ, okay? But what I would change if we were building another Sunseeker Caravan would be I would get the king size bed. Now I know that that's an option now, but I think Justine would probably rather stay with the queen. But I know that you can now get the king size bed which goes all the way across to the window,
and then you lose this side of the cupboard.
You lose the right hand side, so that's all gone. But what you do gain is you get a bigger storage area under the bed, and you also can access the storage area from the side of the van. So for me, that would be a big plus, because I don't know, a bigger bed.
He likes that because he's not the one that would be climbing over.
Yeah.
I've been climbing over him for the last 3.5 years in an east-west bed, and I tell you what, I'm loving being able to get out my side of the bed.
But then that would then lead on to the thing that you don't like about the couch.
Yes.
Because with the east-west, with the king-size bed, this L shape goes on that side.
Yes.
So,
my biggest thing that I like with our seating, we've had both the L seater lounge, and we've also had the club seats in caravans over the past. And we love the L-shaped lounge, but what I don't like is the way that this is this way. I wish it was the other way, because this is the L shape here. I wish it was this way instead.
The L's around the other way.
The L's around the other way, because then that opens up this whole space here to be able to get in and out of the bed a lot easier. And even if this was to stay here, I'd even prefer just this to be like a U-shaped lounge, just to give that extra space. Because the problem is, for kids it's not so bad, but to get in and out of this lounge, you've always got to have the person sitting here clicking the table to move it, because you've got no space here to get out yourself. So you're always relying on someone to move, because the mechanism's up this end of the table. You can't physically reach it from over this side of the table. So for me, I mean, that is another reason why we bought this, was so we can have someone sits here at the table, someone sits there at the table, and someone sitting here, because this is a spot where usually people don't generally sit, just because there's only 3 of us. If you had a bigger family, it's a spot that's used, and you squeeze in there and it's fine. But just getting in and out, I just would love to be able to get in and out of this area, like both ends of the table, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I do. I guess it doesn't really bother me as much, because I'm not the one who sits in that corner.
Yeah, Tim's always the one at the head of the table. The man's at the head of the table. You're in the sunshine there, I can't see you.
It's my aura.
It's not your aura, please. Anyway, so that would be definitely something I would look at. I'll just have the L-shaped lounge at the other end, just back to front, just to make it easier to get in and out of the bed there. Yeah. So I think...
Yeah.
They're not major things.
But if you've got the king-size bed, then that would be up there automatically, and then it wouldn't be such an issue.
See, this is why I'm glad we're not building a van, and that the amazing people that did design this van designed it the way they did, because there's no going back and forth and conflicting, and you said this and you said that. Well, you're the one that chose that. It's good, because we can't blame each other for the way that the van is. Yeah. And, we still love the van.
Yeah.
But if we were to build it, it's just giving people feedback on our experience with the van, exactly how it is now, and these are a few things that I guess we would change.
First world problems.
That's your phrase for today, first world problems. You said it like 10 times.
Which leads us on to the number one thing that we disagree on.
One more thing, sorry, for me. I don't even need to check the list for this. I don't know if you need to check the list, make sure we've covered it. Just in the bathroom, if you have the option, I don't know if you do, but the bathroom sink, this tap, it doesn't move at all. And so when you look at the sink, you don't have a lot of space to actually get in there and wash your face or clean your face. And brushing your teeth, it always ends up, obviously with kids, Riley, you end up with toothpaste all down here, because they're trying to utilize this much space to be able to put your face in there and be able to brush your teeth and rinse your mouth and stuff like that. If we had the option, I would 100% get one that can move, so one that can go side to side, or even have the actual tap in the corner of the sink instead of in the middle, if it has to be stationary and it can't be moved. That's just one thing that's really hard for me, because I like to be able to wash my face and clean my face, and I have hit my head a number of times on this tap here. And sometimes I just end up going out to the kitchen sink, because I can't physically, as an adult, do what I need to do in there. So
it's also really hard to have a shave.
Yeah, and to also have a shave for Tim. So that's probably one of the big things that if you can, I don't know what the specifications are, but if you can get a tap that can actually move side to side in the bathroom sink, 100% get it. We're going to look into seeing if we can actually adjust that and put one that can move. I can't see why we couldn't, but we're going to look into that. But that now leads us to our number one conflict.
Yeah.
I love it. He doesn't.
Yeah. So,
and
and it's funny, because when we first got the van, we both really liked this, but since living in it for 6 months and me being the number one person who has to empty it all the time, I just don't really see.
That would be this,
the composting toilet. Now look, stand up again, baby. Okay, so look, for me, I don't see the point in having it. I just don't, because you still have to empty the wee container, all right? There's no warning light on the wee container when it gets full. So if it gets full in the middle of the night, it just overflows. The other thing is the container where the wee goes is reasonably small. So
it's just this here.
So the three of us get this filled in about a day and a half. Now, if you were a family of 5 and you had a composting toilet, you'd be emptying this every half a day, every day, for sure, every day. So with the this is I'm debating you.
That's okay. I like it.
But with the normal cassette toilets, you have to empty them anyway. So maybe we would have been better off if we'd got a cassette toilet with 2 cassettes, and then, you know, you still have to find a place to empty the wee. I know a lot of people just empty it on trees and stuff like that, which is fine, but I don't know. It's just...
I disagree.
Go on.
I love the composting toilet because it doesn't stink. We have had cassette toilets forever, and every single toilet stunk the Caravan out. It didn't matter what chemical we used, how much we cleaned it, how much we emptied it. We could never ever get a toilet that just didn't stink, and it was really hard. I like the concept of the composting toilet because you don't need to actually empty the other part of it. We probably need to do it every 2 to 3 weeks. We'd have to clean out and do a major clean on the toilet. For me, and I do that, not him.
We both do it.
You help me empty it, and then I'm there with gloves on scrubbing it because I like it to be nice and clean.
But with the cassette toilet, you'd never have to do that.
I know, but I would prefer to put that extra bit of work in to do that and actually not have to have that smell in the Caravan.
That is one thing.
And honestly, emptying the wee container, it's really not that big a deal. It's just wee. It's not even that gross compared to what you were emptying out of the cassette toilet.
Yeah, but
honestly. It's just wee. If he's going to start whinging, I'm happy to go and empty the wee. It literally is 2 seconds down the road, and you pour it in, you rinse it out, you bring it back, you put some vinegar in it, and you got a brand new toilet again.
I'm not whinging. I'm just simply
debating,
saying
though.
I don't see the point. I mean,
it's easier. I see it as a much easier. You guys are boys, so if we're free camping, the boys just go outside, and then there's less wee, so it's just me. So this will be like a debate. You guys can give us your feedback. I love the composting toilet, and I would 100% never go back to a cassette.
Well, I don't hate it. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
And I think if we were to get another Caravan built, this would be a point of debate.
This would be a big debate if we had to build and
And like most things that we debate on in our lives, Justine would probably win.
I don't always win.
She always wins.
He's so full of it. Anyway,
yeah,
I think that wraps up the majority of the van.
I think so.
As a total, the things that we don't really love, they're not really a big deal. No. Considering how much is in this van, how much it cost, we're pretty lucky actually that it is lucky. The way that it is, because
the Sunseeker Caravans are amazing. So, you know, we would still get another Sunseeker if we were to get another one.
Yeah.
But there are options that you can choose, and for us, there's some of the options that we would choose. Like with a normal Sunseeker, you get the same windows, you get the same bench top, well, the same space in the bench top.
You get to change your colours and stuff.
You get all that sort of stuff. It's just the little extras that, you know, aren't necessarily, they're extras. So the battery system, the suspension, and so on.
Yeah. So all in all,
yeah,
I think out of 10, what would you give it?
So you put me on the spot.
I know. I'd probably be sitting around the 8.
Yeah, I'd probably be sitting on a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the van. I love everything about it. It's given us exactly what we needed, and I reckon this will be home for quite some time.
Oh, for sure.
And we haven't actually made it homely yet. We haven't got photos up or anything like that because we're really only just really settling in, and this is now home for us. So we love it. 100% love the Sunseekers. If you haven't got one or you're on the fence about it, I would 100% go one. If it fits into your budget, get the big battery system if you're going to do lots of off-grid camping.
That little bit of extra money that you'll get when you buy a Sunseeker is, regardless of the suspension, regardless of the battery system that you get, you're getting a solid van that will take you where you want to go, when you want to go.
That's right.
That tows really well, that's airy and bright, has lots of great cross breeze with all the windows.
Yeah.
With that little bit of extra money, you'll be right. You'll be sweet.
Yeah. So families, couples, anything, I reckon this van ticks every box.
Yep.
So I reckon that just about wraps it up.
Yep.
So that's your 6-month review on the Sunseeker.
Yep.
And we'll do it. I reckon we'll do another 6-month review in another 6 months, because we're going to be hitting the cold weather, and then we can give a really good review on how the van handles the cold.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for the next 6 months.
And then we'll have a 6-month review on the Ram.
Yeah, so stay tuned for the 6-month review on the Ram. I think that's in a couple of months, or 2 or 3 months.
And we're going to try to get 2 episodes out next week too.
Don't listen to Tim. We'll just get episodes out when we have the time.
We're going to try.
He always says that.
All right.
All right.
We'll see you next week.
See ya.
I found my way